Hey everybody, Scott Holden here, and before we start the show, I just want to take a minute and tell you where you can find us out on the interwebs. The best place to find us? BoneCrushingJuggernaut.com. That's right, BoneCrushingJuggernaut.com. And if you don't feel like typing, hey, save yourself some letters. BCJuggernaut.com will take you there. There, you can find links to subscribe to us on iTunes, on Stitcher. You can find links to our Twitter feed, where we are on Facebook, Tumblr, YouTube, all that good stuff. So please, just head on over to BoneCrushingJuggernaut.com for all your bone-crushing juggernaut needs. And I hope you enjoy the show.
Disclaimer. The show you're about to experience is for entertainment purposes only. The hosts use adult language and conversation, just like most of everyday life. If you are too uptight, this might not be for you. Prepare to be crushed!
I was a really good student at the best school. I'm not like a smart guy, okay?
I moved on her, actually. I did try and she was married. Grab him by the pussy.
Well, he does have an 82% approval rating according to the different pollsters who, by the way, some of them are based right here. Look.
He's also a guy who annexed Crimea, invaded Ukraine, supports Assad in Syria, supports Iran, is trying to undermine our influence in key regions of the world, and according to our intelligence community, probably is the main suspect for the hacking of the DNC computers.
Well, nobody knows that for a fact, but you want me to start naming some of the things that President Obama does?
But do you want to be complimented by that former KGB officer?
Well, I think when he calls me brilliant, I'll take the compliment, okay? As far as Putin is concerned, I think Putin's been a very strong leader for Russia. But he's been a lot stronger than our leader, that I can tell you. I mean, for Russia.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember. He's going like, I don't remember. Oh, maybe that's what I said.
I don't think anybody knows it was Russia that broke into the DNC. I mean, it could be Russia, but it could also be China. It could also be lots of other people. It also could be somebody sitting on their bed that weighs 400 pounds.
Bone-crushing juggernaut.
Everything wrong with podcasting.
Hey, everybody. That's right, I'm back. That's right, we're back. Another day. Another day. Today I decided I'm going to take it down a notch. I'm not going to do the whole political thing. I'm just going to take a few minutes and celebrate the life of Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, someone very important to my generation. I was born in 1970, so by the time Star Wars came out, I was 7, and essentially I grew up with Star Wars. I was the kid with Star Wars figures. I was the kid, who with all the T-shirts, and I mean, it was part of our lives growing up. She was, the first girl that many of us had crushes on and fell in love with. I remember Kevin Smith talked about how he envisioned marrying her. So, Carrie Fisher was important to this generation, and so I want to take a moment and, just honor her and, share some stuff about her. I mean, this is obviously recycled material. These are cuts that I found off Empire of the Sun, which is a great documentary about Star Wars. So I'm going to share some of them with you and see. So this is, we'll start off with how Carrie Fisher actually was cast in Star Wars. So,
when R2 has been safely delivered to my forces, you get your award.
What?
You have my guarantee.
What's the little droid carrying that's so blasted important?
The plans and specifications to a battle station with enough firepower to destroy an entire system.
One actress in particular seemed tailor-made to play a princess. As the daughter of actress Debbie Reynolds and singer Eddie Fisher, Carrie Fisher was the product of Hollywood royalty. She had no trouble conveying the self-assurance needed for Leia Organa.
I met with Brian De Palma and George, and Brian did all the talking because George didn't talk then. There were incredible actresses that were my age that were being considered for this role, so I didn't think I would get it.
But our only hope is to destroy it before it destroys us. Look, hiding is useless now. With the Death Star, they'll continue to go on destroying systems until they found us. We have no alternative but to process the information and use it while there's still time.
I got it with the proviso that I went to a fat farm and that I lose 10 pounds. And that I think they were hoping it was going to come out 5 here and 5 here. And
those are her
my
cheeks.
character was someone who was feisty and all of that. But I felt myself to be a bit of that, too. So it would have been unlikely that I would be cast as a shrinking Violet. He cast us to type in a way.
So, yeah, that was a very interesting section. Apparently, Brian De Palma and George Lucas did joint casting, and it was like bulk. It was cattle call. They saw everybody. And when you see some of the footage of these old interviews, it is really not surprising that she was the pick, because she was head and shoulders above many of the other actresses they shown, many of whom were accomplished. So kudos to her. And let's see. Here's another cut that, hang on just a moment. I want to make sure I can tell you what these are all about. Yeah, so this was... Now, recently, she wrote about how they actually had an affair, her and Harrison Ford. But that is newer news. When this is what she used to say before exposing that little tidbit about meeting Harrison Ford.
We were all very different ages. I was 19, Harrison was 33, and he was sort of the big man on campus. And meeting him, you sort of felt, well, he'll be a movie star.
Yep, and she was right. Then she, how did Carrie Fisher feel about the script of Star Wars?
It was tough dialogue to say. So I think I got Governor Tarkin. I thought I recognized your foul stench, which, I don't know about you, but I'm always talking like that.
Governor Tarkin, I should have expected to find you holding Vader's leash. I recognized your foul stench when I was brought on board.
Charming to the last.
We used to say you can type this stuff, but you can't say it.
And that's coming from someone who went on to be a script doctor and a writer. Apparently, she even script doctored her own lines as Princess Leia. So, in addition to this dialogue that they had to spout off, there was also the problem that, most of the special effects weren't really in place when they shot Star Wars. So, what was that like working?
We didn't see anything of what was ended up on the screen. So, when they blew my planet up, I was looking at a guy going like this against a board with a circle on it. I mean, it was funny.
Proceed with the operation. You may fire when ready.
What?
Dantooine is too remote to make an effective demonstration. We will deal with your rebel friends soon enough.
No.
Bang! Bang. That was the explosion of Alderaan. Bang. And a fast cut, too. Wow. Anyway, so what was it like being directed by George Lucas? What was her impressions on that?
George never talked. It was sort of, we felt he wanted us to hit our marks and magically accommodate our dialogue. And he lost his voice at one point, and we didn't know that for days. And we wanted to get him a little board where it said, faster and more intense. That was his main direction. He just wanted us to speed through it.
There you go. And you know what, though? That works for that style. I mean, you don't think about it, but really, that dialogue needed to be fast and intense so it felt lived in, What was it like, the costume that you wore? Apparently, there's some controversy about that. And here it is from her lips herself, talking about her costume.
I got one outfit for the first movie, and as George taught me, there is no underwear in space. Instead of that, there is gaffer tape. So I was taped down. And I used to say we should just make up a contest on the call sheet as who's going to rip it off. But we didn't do that.
And I guess Harrison Ford, as we now know, was the one who had won that contest. Yes, that's right. Here is a quick clip about what she thought about the reaction when Star Wars came out.
It got an amazing response. I used to drive by and look at the lines and think, what? I mean, it was the first sort of blockbuster.
All right. And finally, I want to end on this little cut because I think it really shows the kind of person she was. She was really aware. She had a great sense of humor. She was feisty. Kevin Smith actually tells a great story about how she gave some crap to Jay Muse for constantly flirting with her. And her saying, essentially, you say that to me as a young man, but inside, I don't feel like, my age. I feel like a young woman, and a young woman who may want to act on that. And so you're just like Ben Affleck. No, something like that. Anyways, oh shoot, I just realized I got a Facebook Live special going as my header. Maybe I don't think I can fix it now. It's already recording. Oh well. This is not 4.5. This is 5. This is episode 505. Anyway, sorry about that. I just realized. Maybe I can fix it. Probably not. Yeah. So anyway, here's Carrie Fisher talking about her own face.
We signed away our likeness, so when I look in the mirror, I have to pay George a couple of bucks. You're not really famous until you're a Pez dispenser. But, you sort of realize I'm not really famous. Princess Leia is. And I look like her. And owe George a couple of bucks.
There you go. So very self-aware, very aware of who she was. A very interesting person. Again, no one's mentioned it, but she played a Harry Bush nun in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, a great, funny movie. Lots of fun if you're a Kevin Smith fan. She was also in When Harry Met Sally. She's great in that as a supporting actress, as the friend of the couple. A great role model for young women, because as a princess, like, she seemed like she was still able to rescue herself to some degree. So we will miss you, Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia, and everywhere in between. That's all I'm going to do for this show today. Just a little special to honor the woman that meant so much to all of us. And today I'm actually going to go back and rewatch the trilogy again. Probably go into the new movie too. I wish I had a copy of the latest film so I could watch that too. Shoot. Rogue One. I wish I had a copy of Rogue One. But unfortunately, I am not in the guild, and I don't have a copy. I don't have a screener. An Academy screener, like some. All right. Until tomorrow, we'll keep on crushing it. See you then. And shoot, I don't have my outro queued up. I feel like such a schmo. Well, until then, like I said,
crushing juggernaut.
Laters.
Chickens arrive with the billions of how they've been bluffed. 12 little girls with their hair up in curls, but how they been kissed. Well, hey, little sister, I'm a bigger missus, so bad I must insist. I wanna do it to your lung and be like King Kong and get between your hips, alright?
Crushing juggernaut.